Hello, daddy folks. It is Diecast Buffet here again, guys. It is time for a brand new season. We have contracts to sign. We have all kinds of cool stuff to get into. After the absolute heartbreaker of last year's championship, 15 points, I might add you. Oh boy. So, our nationwide contract was a 10 race contract. Is not renewed. We actually did race and win, or actually won a race at Old Spice Speedway. Whole bunch of contract offers. We'll clear these notifications later. Oh boy. It's a brand new season, guys. Lots of excitement. Let's go ahead and check it out. So the first thing I want to look for, no Bush. Nextel Cup Series contracts. I'm going to go look at all of them just to see. So we've got Evernham Racing here. Same set of contracts here. That's interesting. And let's check out the Craftsman. Oh boy, let's see. Oh, yes, they still want us back, the 38 truck. So that's great. We have the opportunity of going back to a 5-star team. But check this out. Bill Davis Racing. Then you have Kevin Harvick Industry, which I would love to drive that. But the problem is Kevin Harvick Incorporated is glitched in this game, apparently. So we're going to have to avoid that one. Wow, dude. So the best truck, definitely right here, the 38 McMillan Holmes truck. If we don't have a great bush ride, we're definitely going to go back and run that 38 because, man, we have some unfinished business there. But let's see. Ooh. Oh, 4-star ride. Yo. Canier Motorsports. Do we want to take that deal? 4-star bush ride. Bro, this is a big decision here. We got to check out. Okay, so let's see where that team ranks. So let's just go look at the buy team page. We could almost afford a freaking bush tape. No, I'm kidding. So it's Canier Racing. They are, oh wow, they're actually kind of up here. They're right here. I mean, they're right behind some big teams. Chance 2. And then, of course, you have Roush right there. They're all 4-star teams. And we have 2 different teammates. That is interesting. So let's look at our team car comparison. So they're 30% their team cars. The last year's race or season we raced with Papa Racing. Their team cars are 20%. Now for comparison, let's see. So it's a 30-30-50. How would a Roush car look? 40-50-60. Okay. 50-50. So my point is that we did pretty darn good with a 20% vehicle. Now, for more context into this, let's go take a look at the Clean Line Motorsports truck. We can actually buy our own truck team. Holy cow. What is the... Okay, where is it? Clean Line. It should be... Oh, yeah, dang. We took them to the top. They're better than Roush. That team's worth $3.5 million. Holy cow. So in comparison, we were absolutely able to win 6 races. Okay? The team cars, or trucks, are 30%, 30%, and 60%. So my point is, we're able to outrun trucks and cars that are 50% with a 30% vehicle. You see what I'm saying? So this is the data mining you have to do. We were able to outrun Kevin Harvick Industries. Now, Bobby Hamilton Racing won back-to-back championships with Chase Montgomery. So you see how fast they are. But my point is that if you can go with a 30% truck and still show up the competition, so to speak, we might be able to make this jump to bush racing because we were running decently competitive at a 20% vehicle. If we make the jump to 30%, who knows? You know, who knows? 30%. Do we make this jump? I mean, in reality, there's 7 vehicles that are 50% in the whole Bush series. Everybody else is 40%. Guys, do we make this decision? Do we go full-time truck racing again, or do we go for the Bush Championship? I don't know what to do here. And I think my controller died. That's great. But I think we need to run the Bush Series, guys. I think we need to run this Bush car. It's a 4-star joint, and I think we could make something of this team. It's a Ford, though. So we'd have to go with the Ford camp. We drove a Dodge last year. We drove a Toyota in the truck series. I think it's time to make the jump. I really do. We're going to sign the deal. We're going to go bush racing in 08. We got our 4-star ride. I think we can be competitive enough in this event or in this series. We're going to run, let's see, out of all the Truck Series contracts here, I mean, I could go back and run Clean Line Motorsports part-time, but that really wouldn't make sense. Because I would like to run maybe a couple truck races, but I think we're going to focus strictly on the Busch Series racing this year. I think we're going to strictly focus on that, try to get that Cup Series contract. So I think that's what we're going to do this season. We're just going to go full-time Busch racing and see how that goes. And another thing is as the season goes on, we can run different truck teams. Like, I don't know if I want to run the Truck Daytona race right now. So we'll probably miss out on that one. We'll just strictly focus on the Busch stuff. But yeah, full-time Busch ride. This is going to be really interesting. And, well, let's go ahead and kick off the season. We head down to Daytona for the daytime Daytona race. We haven't raced there in the daytime. So there's your two modified winners. And, ooh, that's our teammate. That's a pretty cool-looking car. So we're a 4-star team and a 4-star prestige driver. That's a better car. It's 10% better than last year's car, and we were able to win Old Spice Speedway and be pretty competitive at tracks like Charlotte and Texas. Now, we have no points to fall back on, so the top 35 rule is in effect until we can get, enough points. Oh, we're driving the hometown fresh milk car. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of one of the, I can't think of the name of it, but it's one of the Pokemon. I don't know why. The one that drops the eggs. I don't know why it reminds me of it. It's funny. Anyways, we're driving the Moo Juice Ford. So does this make us a Ford developmental driver? I don't know. It could be. But we still have not had that Nextel Cup Series opportunity. Obviously, your first test is going to be for a mediocre ride. But the good news is we're Busch racing now. We are full-time in the Busch Series. That's going to be what? I think it's like 33 races is the season. We've ran pretty well in those 10 starts at times. Some tracks we struggled a lot, like Kansas, right? We struggled at Daytona. We didn't have the horsepower, but you know what? We're going to take that step up. We're going to take that gamble and go for that Busch title. We might run a few random truck races throughout the season, maybe one or two, but we're going to wait until them races come about just to see how that goes. But I really want to focus on the Busch Series. And I don't expect us to set on the pole because I don't even know what to really adjust with these plate cars. Like on Thunder 04, I have kind of an idea of what you need to adjust on the cars to get them to go fast in terms of the gear ratio. Well, the thing is, this is a completely different driving and physics handling than NASCAR 04. So what you do in both games is not going to replicate the same. Even if you look online for like NASCAR 06 setups, there's not a whole bunch of those. So the information to kind of, put into your car is a little bit limited. The good news is if we can qualify for like the first 3 races of the year and get a good consistent run going and finish well, that is, we should be able to qualify for the races automatically, being top 35 in points, 33rd there. Definitely going to have to make some post-qualifying adjustments to the gear ratio. I have a few ideas that might help in terms of the gear ratios because the car is definitely sluggish. We got to do something to get it faster. And it's interesting, man. This career mode has been very up and down. We haven't won a championship in this playthrough, though. That's something that's really unusual because a lot of the other playthroughs I see on YouTube of this game, They win the modified title. They win the truck title. They win the Busch title. And they win the Cup title within, 8 years, right? We haven't won anything. So, this lap looks like it's just going to be just a few tenths better. Nothing much, but the thing about Daytona is that you have a very, very short amount of time to get into the big pack before it separates into 2 different packs. Tony Stewart, no surprise, Mr. Daytona is going to qualify on the pole. And, let's make some adjustments here to the gear ratio. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bump up the acceleration and see how that goes. We're going to see how that goes. And in case we need to, we can also bump this up just a little bit. A little bit tire wear. Actually, hold up. Let's see. I don't want to affect the top speed too much. I wish we could adjust the rear end gear like you could on 04. But you can't, so that's locked in. It's actually kind of cool how they lock some of the things. Like the rear springs, they make it so you can't adjust those. This is tire wear. I want the car to be tight, definitely. This car is going to handle a little bit better, so I think we can loosen it up just a smidge. I don't know what to do, because after you qualify, you can't practice again. So we're taking a little bit of a shot in the dark. It might be a crazy race, though, and we might have some cautions. Alrighty, folks, let's see who wins the truck race, and it's going to be Kevin Harvick, no surprise, winning the Florida Dodge Dealers 250. Alright, so our teammate's going to be Harley Flanagan in the 84 Jimmy Built Ford. This is going to be fun. Busch Series racing, I love it. It's going to be fun. I'm glad we got a 4-star ride instead of a 3-star ride, because even if we struggle at Daytona, I still think we can do good this year.
Welcomes you to the...
Alrighty, folks, here we go. No turning back here. Nearly won the Truck Series Championship, but we're going Busch racing. 9 laps at Daytona. Let's see how this car handles. So our teammate is going to be closer to the front. We're deep in the pack. We need to make some moves early on so we don't lose the draft, because that is a thing in this game. You can easily lose the draft. There's our former teammate. We're actually allies with him still. I love that dynamic in this game, how it remembers the teammates you had. And, you know, your allies with them and stuff. Very slow at these plate tracks. That's generally how my gear ratios work. Unfortunately, they're very slow getting up to speed. But once you get up to speed, they're decent. But as you can see, a lot of track position lost. So again, we don't have much experience in the gear ratio market in this game. Or more specifically, this playthrough. But man, we are dropping like a rock. Definitely got to make some adjustments. I mean, we're running worse than we did at the July Daytona race with a 3-star car. That doesn't make any sense. How are we this slow? Holy cow. Pun intended with the sponsor on the car. Truex is behind us and... well, that sucks. So sorry Truex, we're probably going to have to take 2 tires and tighten the car up just a little bit and see if we can survive and leapfrog the field that way. I mean, we don't really have another choice. Maybe I could look around online and see if I could find a Daytona setup for the Cup Series that might work in the Busch Series, but I know the information on setups are kind of limited for this game. But that's bad. I mean, we should not be running that slow. There's no way we should be running that slow. And that also tells me that the gear ratio settings in this game are significantly different than Thunder 04. So it's going to be a learning experience, right? Lap 3 of 9 here, running dead last. I mean, just no speed. Got to be at least 10 miles per hour off probably their speeds in the pack. Drop it like a rock. But we're going to take 2 tires here. We're going to try to leapfrog some cars and see how that goes. And even with cars behind us, we're still not fast enough to compete. I don't even know what we can do adjustment-wise. Probably nothing. We'll go ahead and pit here. Alright, so once again, we're going to take 2 tires here to try to leapfrog some cars. Nothing we can do about it. Probably going to lose all that time being behind another driver, but not the way you want to start the season. But the real test is going to come at Fontana, you know, the next race, because that is a tire handling track. You got to have horsepower. You got to have great tires there. That's probably going to be the next big test. But out of all the fantasy teams in this game, this is one of the best ones in the game. So who knows? But what I do know is that our Daytona car sucks. Maybe there'll be a caution before we get a lap down and we can, I don't know, leapfrog the field or something. That'd be cool. Doubt it, but you never know. Tony Stewart's still out front in the Old Spice 33. He's a part-timer, I believe, in this playthrough. So even if he wins this race, it's not going to affect us in terms of the championship. I'm not going to try to hold him up. They're freight training. There's your defending Busch champion, 32 car Shane Hamill. There's Newman on the outside. He's another part-timer. It's cool how this game has like drivers that will run just a few races. They don't run all of them. I love that. I think that's such a great feature that they intentionally designed into the game. So we cut about 8 seconds off the pit stop with the two-tire gamble. That's netted us some track position, but I don't think it's going to last, is the problem. We really need some help. We have our teammate behind us, but I don't want to, you know, put him behind us and have him lose 100 spots on the racetrack. So, because in this game, you can call your teammate to draft with you. You can call him to pull out a line. You can call him to do different things. The problem is that we're significantly slower than him, and I think he's actually going to pit, so it doesn't really matter. Martin out front at Daytona, the number 9 car for Roush Racing, which is going to be one of the big threats we'll have to deal with throughout this playthrough, is the Roush camp. They have a stable of cars. Not only do they have Mark Martin, they got Matt Kenseth, they got Carl Edwards. So you got to deal with them every single week. Them Roushketeers, man, once they get rolling, there's no turning back. Speaking of car no turning back, our car is just turning straight to the back of this entire field. I mean, wow. This is bad. 37th here at Daytona. Not where you want to be. I can't even stay share drafted. That's how slow we are. So I apologize for the abysmal car setup. Oh, wait, is that? I thought for a second that 79 car was smoking, but it was just the asphalt underneath that looked gray. That was really weird. I was like, oh crap, he's about to blow up. Fortunately, the tires have actually held up pretty decently, so that's kind of a plus. But 38th here, which means we're going to have to be forced to qualify Fontana because outside the top 35 in points. So, yeah, it's going to make things a little bit interesting early on in the playthrough in terms of points. Hey, there's last year's car we drove. At least we passed that one. Oh, no. Got Clinton Boyer behind us. He's a championship contender, running full-time in the Busch Series. You just cannot stay fast enough behind these cars to be able to draft with them. I mean, we literally just... It's like the back of this car is full of lead. There's nothing... There's no speed. Clearly the slowest car in Daytona. Not even 2 tires would help this car get track position. That's how poor this race car is. Martin Truex Jr. on the outside. Whoa, 2 car there as well. I mean, we might as well just let him go at this point because they're just going to go right on by. I mean, I'm full throttle and it is still slow as dirt. But that's going to be one of the challenges when you move up to the next level. You're not going to have the greatest equipment, right? We took the gamble, and we're going to run with it. And we're going to try to make the most of it and keep growing. And another thing is that when you run the Busch Series, you get more prestige points. So we would probably have a better chance or a closer chance getting to the Nextel Cup Series by running full-time Busch this year than we would running Truck Series. Because if you get a top 10 in the Busch Series, it's probably like 2,400 prestige points. But if you get a top 10 in the Truck Series, it might only be 1,500 prestige points. So it's better to go full-time Busch racing in that sense. But yeah, Daytona is kind of a fluke. Somehow we are ahead of 2 cars, which I don't know if they fell out or whatnot. But yeah, definitely a crappy performance for sure. And Tony Stewart's dominated this whole joint, about to win at Daytona, which if you don't know, the late 2000s and the early 2010s Daytona Busch race was just owned by Tony Stewart. I mean, that guy won so many Busch races. I didn't even realize these 2 cars were behind me. I'm about to run out of gas, so I hope they know. I hope they realize. That's last year's car that we drove, that Dodge. We went to Victory Lane at Old Spice, but 41st. No contest. Not the way you want to start the season. But hey, we're going to go back to the drawing board for Talladega, that's for sure. That setup sucks. So let's look through the field here. Martin's the only guy who led some laps during this Daytona event. We got Kyle Busch in 7th. Look through the field. And our teammate got 26th, so he didn't have the greatest luck either. Probably got trapped behind us like most of these cats, but Tony Stewart's going to take the win in the opener here in the Busch Series of '08. And wow. Down in the dumps. I think that's a crew member, I think. Yeah, our driver's on the left, so the whole team's disappointed. Uh-oh. What the heck? Oh, that's our teammate. Oh, he's having to defend us. Who's in the orange suit? What driver is that? I have no earthly idea who's in the orange car. That is interesting. So we got an angry driver. Let's go ahead and apologize to them there. And that's the first race of the playthrough of this season. In the books, 35 races, so it's pretty much the Nextel Cup Series schedule just about. The next race will be at California Speedway, which is so much fun. Love that track. And after that, it'll be UPS Raceway. So a bunch of good fun here in the NASCAR Busch Series. So thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully we can get, you know, some sort of momentum going, because we're like 41st in points. Oh boy. So that's all for now. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Diecast Buffet signing off.